Let's get deep, going deep, Chad and JT.
Ooh, yeah. Shave my chest hair and call me Frank. What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. Guys, before we begin, I'll remind you once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dogs are looking fresh and clean. Use code GODEEP20 to show the world that not only do you get haircuts, you get dong cuts. And they look good. Go Deep20, manscaped.com for 20% off your order. And we are also brought to you by Zebit. What up, Zebit? Dudes, thank you so much for sponsoring the podcast. Guys, with Zebit, you can shop thousands of products from your favorite brands and pay for them over time. That's right. You can get a freaking Apple Watch. You can get an iPhone. You can get a GoPro. You can get, a bunch of Reese's. I don't know if they have that, but you get the gist. And then you can pay it over time. Get on a nice payment plan so you can afford it now and get it today. And you can get up to $2,500 of credit to shop the Zebit Marketplace. That's zebit.com/go-deep to get up to $2,500 of credit. Zebit.com/go-deep. We are also brought to you by Lucy Co. Lucy Co, what up? Dudes, thank you so much for sponsoring the podcast. Lucy Nicotine is a company founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. Finally, tobacco alternatives that don't suck. Use code GODEEP at LucyCo. That's LUCY.co. And I gotta say one thing. Warning though, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Okay, and I'm here with my compadre, Jean Thomas. What up?
What up? Boom clap, Stokers.
And what's good? Also, we are rocking new merch. We've been working on these designs. I'm rocking a Stoke Nation tee.
I'm rocking I Have a Small Dong.
Dude, supporting guys, Stokers. You can rep Stoke Nation. You can rep Small Dongs, and we're launching it this week. I think Friday, so be on the lookout for that. And I'm fired up for it.
Yeah, keep people guessing.
Yeah, let them know. Yeah, just be proud. Dude, I feel like our merch could merge into like a surf brand eventually.
Oh, that'd be legit.
And eventually we'll be buying stock in that. We'll sell Billabong and buy stock in whatever we call our brand.
Sounds like good potential for a SPAC.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, yeah, that just fired me up.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty pumped up, too.
Who would you talk to about a SPAC, Keith?
Yeah, my dog Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's flipping companies all day.
Nice.
This guy's an animal. Hustler, dude.
Was he one of those guys who was like in his childhood, just like flipping cars, in the kindergarten, flipping candy at Halloween, that kind of guy?
He was one of those dudes who like wasn't even a salesman. He was like an athlete. You know what I mean? He was always just trying to put up more weight, trying to be a little bit quicker, trying to be the best quarterback he could be. And then at some point, that just didn't happen for him. And he was like, you know what? I'm just going to take all that energy and put it into hustling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw touchdowns in cash.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool.
Go long for a big bag of dough.
Yeah. Spike the bonds.
Go for $2 million.
Is that how he says it?
Yeah, he talks like that.
We're going to go for $2.
It's all football verbiage.
Nice. Did you have a good Halloween?
Yeah, dude, it was fun.
Dude,
yeah.
Your costume was epic.
Thank you.
William Wallace.
Thank you.
Dude, I didn't even know you were dressing up, so it fired me up.
Dude, here's the thing. I hate dressing up.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Actually, last year Halloween was one of the worst Halloweens I've ever had. Because my GF at the time made me dress up as a pun. It was a pun party. So I had to wear a Hawaiian shirt with boxing gloves. I was Hawaiian Punch. I felt miserable. And then we got to the party, and these like really rude dudes came up to me and they were like, guess my friend's costume. You have to guess his costume. And I was like, no, I don't really want to. I feel kind of put on the spot. They're like, guess it. And he was wearing corduroys. And I was like, and he had long blonde hair, so I thought he was Royd from Siegfried and Roy. It's weird. We brought him up 2 pods in a row. And I was like, oh, are those corduroys like a corduroys? And then they went, a corduroys? No, you idiot! And they like started laughing at me, and I was like so embarrassed.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, what is it? And then the one dude who was laughing at me was like, well, I didn't know at first either. I'm like, wait, you didn't know what it was either, and you're laughing at me like that? And I got really mad. I go, you guys are idiots. And my GF walked in at the moment. She's like, JT, calm down. And I was like, oh, sorry. And then they went up to another dude, and they were like, guess what his costume was? And the guy got kind of scared, and I went up to the dude, and I was like, bro, just get out. Get out of here.
Did he bail?
No, he stood in there. He felt too...
He took the beating.
He felt obligated. But dude, yeah, so my GF now had a bonfire, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to come in costume. But then I was like, you know what? She'd like it if I showed up in costume. So then I went with my buddy T-Hole, and he was like, dude, I went as William Wallace a couple years ago. I was like, oh, that was a sick one. And he was like, yeah. He's like, I still have this sword in the back of my car. He just drives around with the sword in his car. He also has more stickers of his family's accomplishments on his truck.
Does he really?
Oh, yeah. It's like Harvard alum. His dad played in the NFL. It's like NFL player.
Yeah.
Loyola med school. Like every single thing is on the back.
That's hilarious.
There's like no window space. I'm like, you can't even look in the rear view.
Yeah.
Granted, they got a lot of accomplishments. I mean, they deserve to brag.
Those aren't like top student at middle school.
No, it's big time braggy shit.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to say it.
Yeah.
And he's a great guy. Yeah. But so he's like, dude, I got the sword. So I was like, dude, let's go into the costume store. So we go in there, and they got the gladiator chest piece. That's all I needed. Then my mom's boyfriend happened to have a kilt. I bought a long wig. My mom got so into it, she's like, we got to make the wig better. I'm like, no, I don't have time. She's like, Thomas, let me make the wig better. She had like brown dye to make it the right shade of the right hue. And then she straightened the curls on the front bangs to make it look like more like William Wallace. And by the end of it, I was like, dude, this is dialed.
Dude. Yeah. And the face paint too. Did you buy the face paint?
I bought the face paint, and my mom's boyfriend applied it on me.
Really?
He's a good artist.
Oh, he's a good guy.
Greg's a beast.
Grills and face paint.
He can do it all.
Yeah.
Well, did you go as anything?
No. No, I to be honest, I didn't think anyone was really gonna dress up. I just wasn't expecting it, and but I was walking. I went to dinner, with Caroline and then like a couple people, and I saw these people like a pack, like a squad, all dressed as stormtroopers, full on the helmets, like. They were no joke, you know. It was like full on stormtrooper.
That's
I was
awesome.
Like, that would be pretty fun to rock, like just roll in as a squad as a stormtrooper.
That'd be really cool.
And then walk around with your like 6 of your boys. Just I was like, I gotta do that next year.
One of the most fun nights I ever had was I went out in PB in San Diego with like 4 dudes, and right before we went out, we were at the mall, and we were like, let's just go into Banana Republic and I'll get white linen shirts and wear them out tonight. Yeah. And we just felt like 98 degrees. It was great. Well, +1. Yeah. And it felt amazing. Yeah. And then people come up to you like, what is it? What's it, like a white night or something like that? You're like, no, we just dress like this, dude. Yeah.
I think that'd be so fun to be in the bar and just like, my voice cracked, but you'd see like a dude, you just see a fellow stormtrooper and you're like, what up, dude?
To be squatted up like that too.
Yeah. I was so jealous of those guys. I was like, and every time
strength in numbers.
That happens every Halloween. I'll see like a costume I envy. I'm like, damn.
Because they plan.
Yeah, I never plan for it.
I never plan.
I'm so distraught at the end of summer. I'm like, God dang it. We got we got daylight savings. We got cold coming. You know, Halloween, and I just, and then suddenly like the smoke clears. I'm like, oh fuck, it's Halloween.
I never plan on gifts. Yeah. Ever either. Yeah. I just don't plan ahead. Some people are like, they'll see something you like and they're like 6 months in advance. They're like, oh, I got that for you. Yeah. You're like, dude, I'm not thinking like that. Yeah. I'm like you. I'm like day before Halloween. I'm like, let's figure it out. Yeah. Let's go.
Maybe I'll get a stormtrooper outfit tonight.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Why do you have to wear it just on Halloween? Yeah. Wear it to Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Wear it to like a girlfriend's parents' house.
Roll in. Yeah. What do you think stormtroopers talked about when they were just like in the cafeteria?
Probably like which stormtrooper was hooking up with who. Probably a lot of hot gossip on that tester. I mean, you're trapped with a bunch of stormtroopers. I mean, you're gonna want to bone.
I'd watch that reality show for sure.
Except I don't know how, you know, they'd be like, it would be sort of like Love Is Blind because you wouldn't be able to see under the helmet, you know. So you'd be like, yeah, I'm really compatible with, you know, Xenu. And then you'd have to take off their helmet and just be like, is this for real? Did you see the Travis Scott thing?
Yeah, wait, so tell me about this.
Dude, I couldn't stop laughing. So Travis Scott was going to be dressed as Batman, and he set up this little like video. He shot this little video in his mansion. It looked like of him dressed as like Bruce Wayne in like a suit, you know, like suit and tie, like Gucci or something, like kind of badass looking, like he's Bruce Wayne walking to his Batman like vault to get his Batman outfit, and he's just walking with like a stogue, and then he goes and it looks like an elevator, and he like presses it the doors open to see his Batman costume, and it's like chocolate brown. Everyone roasted him
Just on the color, right?
yeah, but there's a photo of him, there's a photo of him in it. He's just standing in it. Everyone roasted him so hard that he deleted his Instagram.
So funny.
And then
It must have meant a lot to him. He must have been really psyched on it.
I know.
And not seen it coming.
I know. And it reminded me of Parks and Rec with like what's his name? Adam
Scott.
Adam Scott when he dressed as Batman. He just like, it's just him standing there, and everyone's like, "Bro, your costume fucking sucks."
You're out there on a limb. When I showed up as like William Wallace, everyone was like fired up at first, but then after a couple seconds, everyone settled down, and then I was kind of like, "What am I doing in this outfit?"
Yeah, I was thinking about that because you're going to meet new people, so it's like you show up in that, and it's like you really gotta maintain a lot of confidence to keep strutting around that party.
Dudes, I in college I had a full-on authentic Indiana Jones costume.
Dude,
I rented it. It was super stupid expensive.
That's awesome.
For me at the time, and still probably is to rent. The minute I got to campus in my car, I was like, this was a horrible mistake at 9 a.m, and I got to wear this all day. I think I went to my first class and I ditched the rest of my classes. Went home, came back for my night class, still wearing the costume, to the class where the teacher said, "You guys should all come in costume." And I was still the only one.
Dude, that's a really, you're actually making me remember from the other night, like I made a bad joke to someone, and like when you make a bad joke in a costume and you're stuck there with your face painted, you just feel extra stupid.
Yeah.
You're just like, fuck, I really fucked up.
Yeah. I feel like, do you think there's like with costumes, you have to hit a happy medium to feel comfortable at the party? Like if you go overboard, if you go too little? Or do you feel that pressure, or you kind of just like whatever?
It's true. I think most people aim for the middle though, and I'm like, I would have liked a little more commitment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just see someone like in a onesie thing that they bought, and you're like, all right, but like
those are not costumes.
That's not a costume.
No.
Yeah.
Those are pajamas.
Yeah, exactly. Good call.
Yeah, because you don't look like an animal.
But then if you come in with too much, if it's too ornate and it's like you can't move around in it, that's an issue too.
I like to go with goofy. I like to be like a hot dog or something.
That's fun.
You know, or like Cookie Monster, Teletubby. I like costumes like that.
I love all that.
Yeah.
What about a partner one? You know, like where one guy's a plug, the other guy's the socket.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Last year was fun. I had it looked like I was riding a dinosaur.
You had a good costume.
That was fun.
I had a weak one last year.
What was yours again?
I just dressed as like an aerobics instructor, but it looked like I was just going skiing.
Oh, it looked good though, especially for the party we were at. It was like neon, so when you were dancing, it was loud.
It stuck out.
Felt good, yeah.
Yeah, I felt good moving in it for sure. Dancing is the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how I process everything.
Yeah.
If I feel sad, I just got to dance to get it out. And I need people to see me dancing.
Oh, interesting.
That's a big part of it.
Interesting.
I mean, it works by myself, but it's better if there's a little visibility.
Yeah. If people like notice that you're working through something, or just that you're dancing.
Both.
Yeah.
I think they can feel both. Before this, actually, where I got this coffee, I went dancing into this coffee bean, listening to The Naked and the Famous.
Nice.
Didn't even post it.
That's good.
Just went in there and danced.
Yeah.
And then you know what I like doing after you dance like that and you get crazy is then you reset to normal real quick. Mm-hmm. You're like dancing like a maniac, and then they're like, "You're up next, sir." And you're like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Can I get a small coffee, please? How's your day going?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been feeling pretty good lately. I haven't drank for a while, so I've had like those moments of just spontaneous joy.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Which is nice, yeah. Or I don't even Yeah, I just want to eat like a tangerine and like, you know, just put on a cowboy hat and tube socks and that's it. Yeah. And then call myself Bert for the afternoon.
Yeah, when I get a spontaneous feeling of joy, I'm just like, how about I call like a third cousin? Wait, so what are tube socks?
Just long socks.
That's all they are?
Yeah.
And they go in your dick? Or they can, but...
Well, they can.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was talking about putting them on my feet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cowboy hat and tube socks, that's a good look.
Yeah. So I am dropping dong.
You're naked?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. With a stove, unlit.
That's a lot of natural stoke. I remember you came to an open mic one time with a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
What'd you sign up as?
I don't remember.
You had a cowboy name.
Hank?
Maybe.
Hank's a good name.
Yeah, Hank Strong.
Hank's had big dongs, typically.
Big torpedoes.
Not that I'm ashamed of, you know, a less than stellar piece, but sometimes I like to go by Hank just to like live vicariously through Joe's dong.
Well, this will come out after the video probably comes out, but we're going to do some running in skimpy underwear stuff.
Yeah.
And so I went to a place to buy skimpy underwear today, which was like it was a gay establishment, not exclusively gay, but it seemed like that was their primary clientele. And I was looking at all the dildos, and I was kind of psyched on the sizes.
Yeah.
Because you got your 9-inchers, but there's a lot of 6-inch dongs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was kind of encouraging. I was like, oh, look at this.
Yeah.
A lot of 6-inch dildos.
Yeah.
A lot of, I mean, you know, and it's probably more for the ass than the vagina, but I was like, oh, that's good that, you know, everyone, you think all these dildos are going to be 9 inches. No, a lot of them are 6, 7. Yeah. Reasonable.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That really...
It fired me up.
That makes me optimistic for the world.
Right?
Yeah. And I think, dude, I stumbled upon a video last night, sex education video. I learned about the clitoris, basically about the female anatomy and like what the clitoris is and how, dude, it's like a muscle. It has 8,000 nerve endings.
Yeah.
The dong has 4,000.
I know.
Man.
I remember learning that in high school. I was like, you lucky ladies.
Yeah.
You're getting double?
Yeah, and it goes, so the G spot is like the other end of the clitoris.
Oh.
So that's why if you're like pushing up through like the vaginal wall,
yeah,
that's why you're stimulating it.
Oh, interesting.
Side. And then the top of it is the part that like pokes out at the top under the hood.
Oh, that makes sense.
And
nice. Yeah, I've tried those moves.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom. But
look, I'm here to get the job done. All right, this is important stuff.
Yes. So it's just like it's in there, and so dudes, you gotta get that thing spazzing out.
Good call.
Yeah.
For real, good call.
That's what I learned.
Dude, nice. I love you doing a little research, dude, and adding some nice descriptions to a thing that a lot of us are trying to understand.
Yeah. Twitter's good for some things. Just when you think its only use is to divide our country, then you learn about the clitorises.
I think you can learn a lot.
Yeah.
It's just you just got to be curious.
Yeah. Is that too politically charged?
How is that politically charged?
I don't know.
But we'll cut it there and say, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure, dude. A lot of people are scared of doing good work on the veg, and I think, it's good that you're on the right side of history.
I was talking about the Twitter dividing our nation.
Oh, no, you're good, dude.
Oh, okay.
What was I going to say? Dude, that's why I've been big on I'm circumcised, but they say an uncircumcised dong has more nerve endings.
Oh, right, yeah. But what about dick cheese?
I think that's just a problem early on, and your parents scrub it for you as good parents do, and then as you get older, you're taking a shower every night. But
if you had a kid with a uncircumcised piece, would you think that he might feel weird if he's got, a turtleneck on his
He might catch some heat from his classmates, but people are afraid of what they don't understand and just anything that's different. Yeah. But I actually think that if you're just looking at pure, like, bang for your buck, getting the most out of your piece, uncircumcised is the way to go.
You know, knowing you, I think your child would helicopter that uncircumcised piece.
I pray he's got that kind of confidence.
Yeah.
I hope he comes home and he's like, hey, the other boys made fun of me. And I go, you go back and you tell them you got more nerve endings, okay? And you tell them their parents are a bunch of sheep who just did what their parents did before them. And they never even thought critically about what was going to make their dode feel good for their kid.
Yeah.
I'm out here looking out for you, son. And you're building character right now. And that character is going to come through in you being a freaking sexual dynamo. Yeah. So don't you keep your fucking head up, partner. I fucking love you. I gotta love that kid.
I bet he could be like, yeah, my dad, he's just so interested in like the nerve endings in my piece.
Yeah.
And he's just like, it seems like he's living vicariously through my nerve endings.
They call me into the office. They're like, your son won't stop talking about his piece and how he has more nerve endings. And he says you've been that's kind of the way you talk at home. And I go, damn right, that's how I talk at home. Do you have a problem with my son's piece?
Yeah.
That it's covered? You got an issue?
Well, is it not awesome? Do you not think it's awesome?
Father Francis, is there a problem here? Because he's going to Catholic school.
Well, I mean, he's a kindergartner, and we were doing a class on space. And as you know, rocket ships have a phallic quality to them. And he asked how many nerve endings. He asked how many. Are you okay?
I laughed a little. Please continue, sir.
He asked how many nerve endings were on the space shuttle Columbia. Or Discovery, sorry.
Look, he can't be talking like that at school. But I think we can both acknowledge that's a pretty precocious joke for a 4-year-old to make. Have we thought about putting him in the gifted classes, maybe with the other kids who are making sophisticated dick jokes?
Well, you know, he does wear a turtleneck. And I have not thought about putting him in the gifted class because he seems to only talk about penis.
Is there a class where you guys talk about that more?
Not yet.
Well, look, if you want, I can homeschool him, but I got to be honest, it's going to be a lot more dick talk at home than at school. If the mission is to get him to talk about dongs less, well, you don't want him at home with me. I don't have a job right now.
Okay. You don't have a job?
No.
What were you doing prior?
I was designing rocket ships that looked like dicks.
Are these penis spaceships circumcised?
No.
Don't you think the population will think that's weird? That, you know, I assume 85% of men are circumcised.
I think it's weird. They'll think it's weird.
Don't you think the population would prefer like a bell end on their spaceship?
Look, you can do your spaceship with a bell end. I want mine to just not be uncovered.
But is that aerodynamically, is that going to work, if it has a big hood on it? I mean, a bell end is, I don't want to get scientific here, but it's way more fluid and aerodynamic. I don't think so. That'll pierce through.
I don't think so. I think the head is going to cause a lot of friction with the air. You want that closed dome. I don't want to be argumentative.
I'm kind of unfamiliar with uncircumcised.
Oh, you are?
Things, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny?
It's interesting.
Well, yeah, I too can feel pleasure, you guys aren't the only ones, just because you guys are kind of like high and mighty, but I can come too, just so you know. I know you guys have more nerve endings on your cocks, but I can come too. Okay? I can come more than your son. I'm pretty sure I have come more than your son.
Father Francis, at no point did I suggest you couldn't come.
Well, that's the thing with you uncircumcised folk. You think you have way more nerve endings, and maybe you do, but I can come.
I believe you can come.
Do you? Because you have your child here at school preaching at a religious institution about how he can come more and harder than his classmates.
He can come?
That's what he's saying.
That's news to me? Dude, did you listen to Alex Jones on Joe Rogan?
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty good stuff.
It's always so entertaining.
Aaron, did you listen to that? You had to listen.
No, I did not. I listened to McConaughey, but I did not listen to...
How's McConaughey?
He's great. He's great.
Yeah, I like McConaughey.
He's a good guy.
Marin was kind of being a dick to him about it.
Oh, you listened to him and Marin?
A little bit. Marin was like, yeah, it was the kind of book where I was like, if this wasn't Matthew McConaughey, I would think this is stupid. But I don't mean that as a criticism.
He said that?
He said that to him.
What'd Matthew McConaughey say?
He's like, right, because of why? And he's like, no, I don't mean it as a criticism. It's just more, it's really a compliment. And you're like, that's not a compliment at all.
Yeah. I know. I was listening to McConaughey's life story. He was like talking about his struggles. Like his big thing, like the big risk he took was that he stepped away from rom-coms to get into more.
Yeah.
And he's like, that was like the big moment for me. And I'm like, dude, you got your first movie at like 22, 23 on like your first audition. Like,
yeah, the name of the book is right, Green Lights. It's been a life of uninterrupted green lights.
Yeah, dude. Your dad died with a boner.
Amazing.
Not that, no, hearts out to him for that.
Yeah, that is a bummer.
But
sorry, dude.
I'm just saying his lineage is pretty cool.
He's a beast. I guess he won most handsome at his high school. And he tried to sue Accutane.
Really?
For making his skin terrible.
Uh-huh.
And so when they were suing him, they were like, yeah, it made my high school life horrible. Like I felt like a mutant. And then they pulled out his yearbook and they were like, you were the most handsome guy in your class. So he lost the case.
Really?
Yeah.
That's true?
Yeah. But no, please. I saw Matthew McConaughey once.
Yeah.
I've probably told this story a million times. He was at a bar with his wife, and they looked like they were having a nice time. And she got a burger and fries, and he just turned to her and goes, you know I'm going to eat some of those fries, right?
I love my buddy Miller put it best. He's like, he's the most in touch, out of touch person ever.
That's well said.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Because I can't stop watching his announcement that the book has been released on Instagram. He's like, hey everybody, McConaughey here. You know, this book is it helped me find a lot of growth for myself, a lot of truth and honesty. And you can read it also if you want to. And he goes, he starts laughing. He's like, if you want a good laugh. And I recommend that you give some green lights not only to yourself, but to other people. And the two aren't mutually exclusive. Just keep living. You're like, what are you talking about? But he's so confident, and he's just like, so I'm like I love him, you know.
It's just like a river flowing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's he's just talking,
going off into a million different little streams.
Yeah.
But he keeps flowing. He never stops flowing. Yeah. He's always in rhythm.
I'm sure he's an awesome guy to hang out with.
I bet.
Yeah.
I don't think you can knock him out of rhythm.
No.
Dude, but Alex Jones, he's probably not a reliable information giver. Mm-hmm. Going out on a limb here. He brings in just a stack of paper. He's like, Joe, I got the documents. It's like, would you print those off Yahoo? Yeah. What do you mean you have the documents? And Joe is being harder on him this time than normal. Yeah. He's like, Alex, we have to verify this. We got to bring it up. Can you bring it up, Jamie? Can you bring it up? Yeah. And then like some stuff he'd be like close to the truth on, and then other stuff, if he was wrong, he'd be like, all right, let's just keep pushing, Joe. It's close enough. Let's just keep moving. Yeah. But just in terms of entertainment value, yeah, he's really fun to listen to.
He's very entertaining, and I listened to a show one time, and the production value around it, like it makes you feel like you're in a movie. You know, it's like, welcome to the Resistance. If you are listening to this broadcast, or they call it a transmission. If you are listening to this transmission, you are the Resistance. And you're kind of just sitting there like, whoa. Like,
I think that's part of what's fun to listen to about him is that actually it's kind of positive. Yeah. It makes you feel like you're part of something like that, like the Resistance.
Like you're fighting for good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, so like when it comes to global warming, he's like, no, the Earth's been hotter a million different years. It's actually cooling itself, if you think about it. And coal, it's clean. It burns clean. You're like, oh, like it's not what any scientist I listen to on like NPR or something are saying, but it's nice that he believes that. It's like that's a friendlier world to believe in. And then even the stuff that he's like kind of dark about, like he's like, oh, there's predatory child molestation rings that have been instituted since the Kennedy administration, and they've just been circulating children through different islands, and then Joe Biden's connected to it. It all goes very deep. Yeah, that stuff. But he's like, but we're gonna get him. We're coming to the truth. I've uncovered it, and we're gonna fight it. Like even that has like a bent at the end of it, where it's like, we're gonna stop all this. Yeah, and you're like, oh, okay, that does fire you up.
Joe, I am pro-human, okay? I'm pro-human. I'm fighting for you. And you're like, yeah.
That's what it is. There's something actually positive about it that makes it palatable.
I thought Tim Dillon was a good addition to the pod, too.
Yeah.
I think he did it really well because he knew when to interject. You know, like Eddie Bravo would kind of just talk over him, and you're like, I kind of want to, you know, and it would get kind of annoying. But Tim Dillon was able to just sort of like, you know, do some surgical strikes in there, whereas it just kept it very entertaining.
Yeah, he's a bit more discerning.
Yeah.
I think it's funny, too, with Alex Jones that he, like, just sometimes when his random interests will pop up, like, he'll just bring up an actor. He's like, Michael Douglas, he's a great actor. You know, he's amazing in Disclosure.
Yeah.
Pick a random movie. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of his.
Yeah.
It's just so...
Joe, you're getting drunk. You're getting drunk with me right now.
Yeah, and he always wants him to smoke pot. Smoke some pot, Joe. Come on.
Come on. We're getting drunk right now. He's like, Joe, you're a smart guy. I know you know more than me. You're a smart guy. Yeah, he's very... Aaron, he was in here one time, right? Or should I not talk about that?
I feel like the statute of limitations has been long enough. Yeah, he was in here once.
Well, he was more radioactive at that point too, right? Because that was when he was getting like his kids maybe taken away, and the Sandy Hook stuff was a bit. He's gotten cagier too, or savvier, where he's like walked. He doesn't stand by the Sandy Hook stuff anymore. Yeah, at least not on Rogan.
I think at that point he was walking that back too, but yeah, damage has been done. I mean, he was being sued and everything.
Yeah. Whenever I watch him, I'm like, I'm kind of like, there's something that's so, seeing someone who believes in something so deeply and has like dedicated their life to like fighting for something that they believe in, is like, you kind of like are envious of it. Even if you don't share the same beliefs, it's sort of like, wow, you like, you know, he really is on a full mission.
Well, and he's got his own way of thinking. It doesn't seem like anyone else's. It seems like he's his own information kind of source.
Yeah.
Like he finds it himself. You never hear him reference, here's a smart guy you should listen to. He's always the guy finding it.
Yeah. He's like, look, I've talked to 80 different military officers. They can all confirm this.
The numbers are huge always.
Yeah.
John Ronson, I brought this up before too. He did a really good piece on him in like This American Life. And like the most interesting part to me was that Alex Jones told him that when he was in high school, he went to a party and 12 guys jumped him and tried to murder him as part of some like conspiracy. And it turned out in reality, 4 guys jumped him and he really did beat the shit out of the guys. But when he retold the story, he just tripled how many guys were there and then added that there was like a Machiavellian aspect to it rather than just 4 guys who wanted to beat his ass.
Yeah.
But it was like already nuts enough. It's like you beat up 4 guys. Yeah. And then he's like, no, there was 12. You just gotta amp it up. It's like already a cool story.
Yeah.
Dude, did you read that fact about bees that I sent you?
Yeah. Do you want to read it out?
Yeah, cool fact about bees. So beekeepers in Japan attempted to introduce Western honeybees for the sake of their high productivity. Western honeybees have no innate defense against the hornets, which can rapidly destroy their colonies. Although a handful of Asian giant hornets can easily defeat the uncoordinated defenses of a Western honeybee colony. Dude, that is such a harsh takedown of the Western honeybee. The Japanese honeybee has an effective strategy, though. When a hornet scout locates and approaches a Japanese honeybee hive, she emits specific pheromonal hunting signals. When the Japanese honeybees detect these pheromones, 100 or so gather near the entrance of the nest and set up a trap, keeping the entrance open. This permits the hornet to enter the hive. As the hornet enters, a mob of hundreds of bees surround it in a ball, completely covering it and preventing it from reacting effectively. The bees violently vibrate their flight muscles in much the same way as they do to heat the hive in cold condition. This raises the temperature in the ball to the critical temperatures of 46 degrees Celsius, 150 degrees Fahrenheit. In addition, the exertions of the honeybee raises the level of carbon dioxide in the ball. At that concentration of CO2, they can tolerate up to 50 degrees Celsius, 102 degrees Fahrenheit. But the hornet cannot survive the combination of high temperature and high carbon dioxide level. Some honeybees do die along with the intruder, much as happens when they attack other intruders with their stings. But by killing the hornet scout, they prevent it from summoning reinforcements that would wipe out the entire colony. Dude. They get in a big circle and they hump until they heat it up so hot that the heat from their humping murders the hornet.
It's insane.
It's amazing.
How does that does that get programmed into your like into their instincts? You know what I mean?
Totally.
Because they don't. I doubt they like have a conversation about it. You know, like this is what we're gonna do, dudes.
Yeah,
Like,
that's so true.
They just all just do it.
Like one bee just started doing it.
Yeah.
And then the hornet's like on top of you and you see it start to sweat and you're like, it's working, keep going.
Yeah.
And then pretty soon you fly around and you tell all the other honeybees and stuff.
Yeah. Dude, that'd be pretty awesome if you had like a rival squad and like one of the dudes tries to like kick your ass, but you get your squad and you just air hump around him and he gets super hot and like gets heat stroke and like has to bail.
It's always been my dream to just dance circle bullies to death.
Yeah. He comes in, he's like, I'm gonna fucking fight you. And you're like, dudes, square up. And you just start humping the air. And you go, yeah. And he's like, what are you guys doing? What's going on here? And he's like, oh, I'm getting hot. Oh.
And he tries to call for backup, but he's like choking on all the heat. And he's like, hey guys, come. They're humping me.
Yeah.
And then one guy's like, dude, I want to stop dancing. I don't want to kill him. You're like, dude, you better you smack his ass. You're like, keep going, bro.
Yeah.
We got him on the ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't give up now. We're not going to decision, all right? We need the knockout. And then that bully, what would he even tell his friends after that? They're like, dude, what happened? You were supposed to kick all those dudes' asses.
Dude, they did some like weird kind of bukkake thing.
They bukkake'd me. They danced on me until I died. They danced on me until I was unconscious. I'm not going back to fuck with those guys. Yeah, you'd have a rep.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, if I had a gang, the Western Honeybees, they're like, why do you call yourselves that? You throw them in the middle of the circle, just dance on them.
Aaron, would you be in the humping squad?
I mean, if only to save my own life, sure.
For sure.
But would you like hump with us just for recreation?
Yeah.
Cool. Dude, other animal-related news. So, the New York Times has an article that, and this has long been a myth in fishing circles, like fishermen have said that swordfish battle sharks, and everyone's like, oh, you're just telling stories about, fantastical things in the ocean to sound cool. It's like, nah. They found 8 sharks in the last 6 months that have had broken swordfish parts in their dome. So these swordfish are using their swords like swords.
Yeah.
But people don't understand why, because it actually the swords don't grow back. So if you go after a shark like that, that's it for you in a lot of ways. Like you lose a lot of your aerodynamic swimming capacity.
Wow.
You're not able to kill other fish. So
it must hurt too.
It's got to hurt to break off your dome piece like that.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool that they're going after sharks like that. Like I'd love to witness that.
That must be like their last resort, Papa Roach. Like they're like I'm gonna die. I gotta stab this dude. But could you imagine having a fucking sword on your head?
You'd want to use it at some point.
Yeah.
You're like, I do have a sword.
Yeah.
And I want to use it on something big and tough, like a Mako.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you use your sword on?
If I had a sword down there, I'd stick it in stone and then just pull it out all the time and be like, King Arthur.
Yeah. That's how you'd sleep. Just dunk, dunk. Yeah, that's my favorite part of that article is that they just thought it was a tale that fishermen would tell, and I was like, it must be so cool to be one of those fishermen with like tales of the sea, you're like, man, like or whatever, just like out in the water, or I don't know,
just seeing cool shit like that.
Yeah,
I mean, fish are insane. I was watching The Octopus Teacher, and
I gotta watch that.
There's aliens in the ocean.
Yeah,
like those critters are insane.
I'm
only halfway through, but it is really compelling.
What was the coolest thing you learned about it?
It wasn't even like something that I learned. It was just the first moment, and I don't know if it's like if it's reenacted, but the first time him and the octopus touch, it's special. Mm-hmm. Like the octopus's suction cups kind of grip to his arm, and you kind of feel what he's talking about. Like the connection changes him, brings him some kind of serenity. And you kind of instinctively understand it just by watching it. Yeah. Just from the way the suction cups hit him and the way that they kind of like, they're almost embracing. And there's something so powerful about that, especially when it's like interspecies. And I don't know, there's just something about octopuses that they kind of have like a mystical quality to them. Yeah. Because I think it's because their heads look like big brains. Yeah. They're a little more anthropomorphic than other animals in the ocean. Yeah. A little more human-like. And they're intelligent. Yeah. And you can feel that in the way that they kind of touch each other. Yeah. You can feel the kind of intuitive nature that they share.
They are almost like they're human-like in that they look like they have a big brain, but they're also so alien to us.
Yeah.
Just the way that the way they move and use their tentacles and like all that shit.
Completely.
Don't they use their tentacles as feet, or, like to walk?
Dude, that's really cool. It sticks all of its legs like inside of its kind of torso in a way, and then it uses them almost like it uses its feet almost. It looks like it's using them like a tank uses the kind of rolling wheels that they have, and they do that so that they can look like seaweed basically when they're walking.
Yeah.
And so I mean, too, like a human eye, you're like, oh, I can tell the difference. But if you're like a shark that operates primarily on smell, which is something I learned while watching this,
yeah,
you could see how they'd get away with it.
Interesting.
It's pretty insane. Yeah, the sharks are just using smell. They got those eyes, but it's all coming from their nose, how they're tracking things down.
Yeah.
Which was another really interesting thing, was just like, as humans, I think all of us value sight as probably the most valuable sense.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other animals that are daredevil style, using their other senses to basically navigate space.
Yeah. Well, it's like dogs. You watch dogs and they're navigating by their nose pretty much.
That's what's guiding them where to go.
Yeah. It's crazy. They're sniffing around trying to find a place to take a crap, and they have to like sniff the right place.
Do you smell your girlfriend a lot?
Not really.
Do you smell her pits ever?
No. Do you?
Yeah. I'll smell her face sometimes. She's like,
will she notice?
mm-hmm.
Interesting. What'd she say?
We couldn't find the word for it the other morning, and then look, adorable alert, we messaged each other at the same time at night, and we were like, primal. That was the word. And we both thought of it at the same time.
She smells primal? Or it's a primal move?
It's a primal move.
Yeah.
But she does smell primal. I think that's what I like about it. She smells lovely, but it's primal.
Nice.
There's something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you believe in that with like people where they're like, sometimes you kiss someone and you just don't have the right like pheromones with that person and you're kind of not meant to be?
Yeah.
Like there's something about some people's tongue juice that matches with your tongue juice?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I wonder if they sell stuff like, hey, we'll give you better tongue juice if you take a shot of this.
We could.
Yeah, we could.
What would make better tongue juice?
Some peanut butter fragranced.
I was going to say the sweat from your gooch. But
spray that on your mouth?
I don't know, dude. It seems like it's very pheromone heavy.
That's super primal, bro.
Yeah.
That's super duper primal
I think
squared.
Just try it and see if ladies love it.
Don't knock it till you try it.
And you're like, wow, there's something about you. It's like, yeah, I have gooch sweats.
I strive for that kind of open-mindedness.
Yeah.
Where it's like, look, I'll try anything.
Yeah.
And if it works, it works. Dude, should we answer some questions?
Yeah, was there another thing?
Oh, there was a little thing, but it was, I don't know. It was just something I thought was interesting. It was just a paragraph from someone's like personal opinion piece saying that what they think is the right mix of people to be around. They said, and it was just talking about people's like belief systems, basically, that unconvincible people are frustrating to talk to, but being around only convincible people, you just end up at the average belief, which was interesting because I felt that before. When you're in a group of agreeable people, you'll all just land in the middle at the most agreeable opinion, but that doesn't mean that it's right.
Yeah.
And it says having a diverse variety of unconvincible people to sample from and move away from when it gets to be too much, because they do get too annoying. And a group of convincible people with whom to hash out the ideas and find the best versions seems like the ideal. I think I gravitate too much to the convincible, finding the unconvincible too annoying, except in very small doses. But I think that's super true. It's like, I don't know. It's like if you're in LA, so many people are like hyper liberal. You're like, but you're like, I think you'd be better off talking to some Republicans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to even battle test your own ideas.
Totally.
Because then you see like some of these, the election's tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you see some of these projections for how some liberal publications think Biden's going to do. And they're like, it's going to be like one of the biggest electoral landslides in history. And I'm like, I don't think that's the world we're living in.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the America we're living in.
Yeah.
I'm voting for him and I hope he gets the dub, but I think it's going to be narrow if he does.
Yeah.
We shall see, though.
Yeah.
And then people like stores in LA boarding up.
I know. People are gearing up. I don't know. I saw Dr. Drew on a podcast, though, and someone brought it up, and he's like, that's never going to happen. And I'm like, talking about like Civil War or something. I was like, that's all I needed. Dr. Drew, thank you.
I've been wanting to shoot guns lately. I've been like, I need to polish up on my gun skills, and I need to get back into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. I'm not like, I don't know. I'm never really scared of like criminals or anything. I always just like, I'm like, even if there was a civil war, like I'd probably be fine. I never really like, I was thinking like, I was like, should I get a gun? And I'm like, if I had a gun, I'd be more anxious about having a gun.
Like you think about how
needing
it's
to
in the
protect
house all
myself
the time.
Yeah, I don't like that. You have those intrusive thoughts. You're like, oh fuck, I have a gun in here. What could happen with a gun? As opposed to being like, yeah, I have something to protect myself. I think I'm just more kind of like, oh fuck, I have a gun. You know what I mean?
It's funny too. Like everyone I know who has a gun is people I know in Orange County where there's no crime.
Yeah, yeah.
And then all the people I know who don't have guns live in LA.
Yeah,
where it's like it might come in handy more often.
Yeah. That is funny.
I'm like, my friend's like, yeah, I got 3 guns. Like the SIG 380 is perfect for home defense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, in your gated community in San Clemente? Like, who's robbing you? The orthopedist who lives next door?
Yeah.
Is he pissed off that you've let your hedges grow into his lawn?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's my thing too, is like I was thinking about this the other day. I might have already said it on here. I was like, I don't want to hunt, but I'd like to go on a hunt with hunters and just hang out with them and pick their brain while they do it.
Yeah.
Because when you hear hunters talk about it, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to a bow hunter and he was talking about when they get close to the elk and they do the call into the thing, and you're basically in communication with the elk to draw it out so that you can get it with the bow. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's pretty amazing. And then he was talking about the feeling he gets after he takes down like a big buck.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's the most intoxicating, powerful feeling I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
It felt like he sounded like he was talking about like in like the Highlander when you chop a dude's head off and lightning bolts come into your body and you get filled up with that guy's power. It had that kind of like energy to it.
Interesting. I don't think I'd feel that if I killed a buck.
I don't think you would either.
No. But I do, I understand what they're saying. Because I listened to Joe Rogan talking to Shane Dorian about bow hunting. And the way they talked about it was how they just like totally immerse themselves in nature, and they're like completely self-sustainable for like, 10 days, and they're on a hunt, like they're on a mission. That seems super fun, of just like you're like in the wilderness and you have like this one goal where you just got to kill this buck or whatever, kill like a fucking pig. And so you're just like always like searching, and it's just like, that stuff's super fun to me, of just like the adventure of like, feeling like you're just like, yeah.
No, totally. And you're like inspecting the ground and you're like getting clues, and, and you have to have an understanding of so many things to be able to accomplish this one thing.
Yeah. And if you do it, it's, even if you don't do it, it's probably still very fulfilling.
The coolest dude is that guy who got attacked by a mountain lion up in Colorado, and then he choked it to death.
Oh yeah,
because he was like a jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah.
So he got behind and rear naked this freaking mountain lion.
That's crazy.
Like I'd be curious how that guy felt after that.
Yeah.
Because I mean he wasn't asking for trouble. I mean, I guess he was walking in the lion's backyard, but wasn't looking to do anything bad.
Yeah.
Just trying to catch some views.
I think it'd be cool to hunt like a deer if like you knew like, okay, this deer's a bad guy, like he's done some gnarly shit, and it's like he's done wrong to a lot of does in the area. We need to take him down.
Well, he probably has.
Yeah.
If he's a wild animal.
Oh right.
A lot of them are probably not the kindest. I don't know if they even think of things in those terms. Dude, I don't know if I mentioned this since we're talking about manly shit, but I could tell that my girlfriend like was not a take a guy's last name kind of person. Mm. I just started getting that vibe. So we were going on a hike, and I was like, you don't take a guy's last name, huh, if you get married? She's like, no, why would I do that? And I had to think about it hard, and I was like, 1, to protect my fragile male ego, and 2, so I don't look like a pussy in front of my friends.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta do it.
Like, we do me a salad?
Yeah.
I was like, I'll do the dishes for 3 years.
I know.
But then I was like, did I already talk about this on here?
No.
And then she was like, but like, what? Why? Like, why would I do that? And I was like, well, okay, maybe it's because like if we were hiking and like, and this doesn't happen very often, but like if a gang of like marauding dudes came over, I was like, I'd willingly throw myself in front of them so you could get away. Mm. And then she was like, but I do the same thing for you. And I was like, no, but you got to run. It just doesn't work that way. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you just got to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Like, it's my job to die for you.
You should take her to see Troy Casey.
Oh yeah, well he goes a step too far because he's like we don't need women. He's like men are natural leaders, women are subordinate caretakers.
He put up a post today where he's like, today my wife complimented me on my confidence, because there was a point in my life where, and I deeply regret my business was taking a nosedive, so I took on the form of the mother, and all hell broke loose.
Well, that's his personal truth. I think that's true for a lot of people and especially men. They're not. It's just in their heads that they can't live that. I mean, I think I'm like that. You know what I mean? I don't think I could be like the caretaker, but I don't think there is like a right way or a wrong way to do it. Yeah. It's just what works for you.
Yeah. Can I read this thing? It's pretty
go.
Hilarious.
And I love Troy too. He's a very compelling guy, but I just disagree with him on stuff. He's a good sport, too, if you disagree with him.
Oh, yeah.
Brother, always happy to have a debate.
Oh, God. Sorry, guys. All the texts are coming in because I put on airplane mode. Okay. My wife complimented me on my confidence recently. I asked her if I maintained that throughout our marriage. Answer, no. After we had children, I got caught up on capitulating to the feminine, deferring to my wife on many issues that would later haunt me. I relinquished my leadership in the family as I got caught up in feminist ideals that infected my mind via the media programming. Strategically, I played Mr. Mom as one of my businesses took a nosedive. I supported building back her long-standing business after our first child. It sounded like a good idea. She put on her man pants and I put on an apron and the shit show began. He's hilarious.
You know what's funny about that? Is that him asking her, did I maintain that confidence throughout all of our marriage, is like one of the most insecure, fishing statements you could make after that.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been really confident lately. Have I always been confident? It's like, why don't you just take it in stride, dude?
No. All right.
And then he creates this whole narrative about it. It's like, oh, dude, it sounds like a lot was going on in you. I don't know if other people were registering it as deeply as you were.
Was I always this confident?
Right. Was I always confident?
I think I just spit on my monitor.
That's funny. We got to have Troy back on sometime to do some, what's that drug he gives us?
Hoppe. He's in Arizona. He moved to Arizona.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
That's
Sedona.
Cool. Nice. All right, let's answer. Do you want to do an ad and then we'll answer some questions?
Oh, yeah. I got 3.
We have 3 ads?
Yeah.
People have kind of been complaining, but hey, we got to make that bread, guys.
Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we are brought to you by Zebit. Zebit, thank you so much for sponsoring the podcast. You guys are legends. And guys, it feels like the holiday season sneaks up on us earlier every year. If you're not already thinking about holiday shopping, you are behind. Yeah, I said it. So I'm here to help you out by letting you all know about a great place to get everything you need this holiday season, Zebit. With Zebit, you can shop thousands of products from your favorite brands and pay for them over time. They have everything. I'm talking Xboxes, TVs, iPhones, cookware. You can get a nice crock pot, furniture. You could get a love seat, so you can smooch with a lady and you can let her know, hey, we're in the love seat. You can get these all on Zebit. And Zebit gives you the option to pay just a portion of the price at checkout, with the rest spread out over time in easy, achievable payments. So, check this out, dudes. Okay, so I want to get the Nintendo Switch. No? Yeah. I want to get the Nintendo Switch. Total price, $277.75. But with these dudes at Zebit, you can get it for $13.88 or $41.66, and you pay that over time. Nice. Thank you, Zebit. It's good for the holidays, dudes, if you want to do something like that. So, flexible payment options, amazing marketplace. I've gotten some products on here. I got an Apple Watch. I got a new skateboard, and I got it for super cheap, and now I'm paying it off. It's the best. So if you want to do the same, check out Zebit. Get a head start on your holiday shopping. Sign up to shop on Zebit today at zebit.com/go-deep. That's zebit.com/go-deep. Zebit.com/go-deep. Okay. Next, we are on to Lucy Co. What up, Lucy Co.? We are also brought to you by Lucy Nicotine. What up? Lucy Nicotine is a company founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. Finally, tobacco alternatives that don't suck. Guys, I'm a former vapor, and these things are a lifesaver, especially when you want to get off, the Juul, and you're trying to figure out a way. You're like, man, it's gonna be so tough without that buzz that I crave so deeply. Well, worry no more, because this is a safe alternative, or this is a safer alternative to smoking and vaping, because it just comes in the form of gum. It's nicotine gum. 4 milligrams of nicotine that comes in 3 flavors.
Are we sure it's safer?
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that. It's
oh, you just added that?
Yeah. I was just
Are
like,
you nuts?
Well, I was just like, it's gum. I don't know, dude.
No, it's good ad stuff.
But it might be an issue, so I'd take that out.
Okay.
Because it's not FDA certified.
I might leave this dialogue in there. I think it'll be funny.
Yeah, Lucy's like, nice ad, dickheads.
I couldn't believe they wrote that. I was like, are they allowed to say that?
Yeah, no, they didn't.
I was like, are we in Mad Men before Lucky Strike has to change their ad campaign?
So, research and developed for 3 years to be made for people, not patients. Lucy has created nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine that comes in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, pomegranate. I've tried the cinnamon, dank. Lucy also has a lozenge with 4 milligrams of nicotine and cherry ice flavor. Delicious. You can have cherry ice and a cool buzz. Sign me up, partner. Yeah. Each and every flavor actually tastes great and is convenient and discreet. Products can be enjoyed anywhere, on flights, at work, on the go, or even in the gym. That's my speak for gym. And dudes, since giving up on the Juul and switching to Lucy here and there, my breathing's gotten better, my cardio's gone up, my skin's gotten better, everything has improved. My mood is better because this is a better alternative, I think, to this stuff. And so it's 2020. Get rid of your cigarettes. Guys, this is the real deal. Subscription to Lucy comes directly to your door each month. It's simple. You don't have to leave your house because Lucy has delivery down. And so for our listeners, go to lucy.co. That's lucy.co. And use promo code GODEEP to get 20% off all products, including gum or lozenges. That's lucy.co. And use promo code GODEEP at checkout. Also, I have to give this disclaimer. Warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast again to let you know that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for supporting the podcast. Support for Going Deep is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped is taking over the world and is now available in all of Europe, Canada, UK, and Australia. What? Dudes, they're going to have the whole world with trim pubes, with pubes trimmed, or with trims pubed. And, guys, you know the deal. You know how important your dong is. You know how important it is to have well-maintained pubes. People can tell, it's an aura that you give off. It's an aura that you give off where they're like, wow, this guy, there's something about him, and I suspect it's his pubes. And if you ask him, he'd say, why are you so charming? And you're like, because I use Manscaped on my balls. Right, Aaron?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in it.
Thank you. That's an endorsement from Aaron.
Yep. I just manscaped not long ago.
Nice.
Feel great.
Nice. This is the greatest ball hair trimmer on earth, according to Rogan. According to Joe Rogan. So, guys, they have a lawnmower 3.0 electric trimmer. Third generation trimmer, features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents, to keep your nuts smooth like a baby's butt. What? Yeah. When I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes, so you can take a longer shave. You can shave your nuts for 90 minutes. I've done it. It's awesome. Have you tried their weed whacker? Yeah, I've tried your weed whacker, and it's awesome. A weed whacker, guys, I highly recommend. It's for that nose hair. You just throw that thing in there, and it just zzz, it gets your nose hair, and you're like, man, I can smell so well because Manscaped got my balls and my nose. My orifices are fucking singing right now. 79% of partners polled admitted that long nose hair is a major turnoff, so it's time to get whacking. You can get peak performance easily with the performance package. And let's get that bush to tush clean so you can be prepared at all times. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com. 20% off and free shipping with the code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com. And that's it. All right.
Nice, dude. You're a beast. All right, first question from Katya. What up, soulmates of Stoke? Yeah, that's nice.
Nice.
I'm a new fan of the podcast. Started listening after one of my favorite climbing bros, Dan, who's usually a total diva, wouldn't stop talking about his Stoke kit and bronzing. Nice. And suddenly turned into this chill maniac. Anyway, love the podcast. I listen while I work and drive, and it's been great. What I want to ask you guys about is how to maintain this chill attitude that I strive so hard to carefully cultivate during my morning and evening commute. While I live in San Diego, and I'm sure you guys know that most people here are just cruising to the beach or looking for a burrito or some delicious ceviche from Oscar's. Ooh, I gotta check that place out. I usually encounter at least one complete douchebag during my commute to and from work. You know, someone who's either tailgating for no reason or driving like a total dick. It totally ruins my chill, and then I get to work all mad, and I don't like that. It ruins my stoke even if I'm listening to you guys, which is an impressive amount of stoke ruining power that these dicks have over me. I should mention I'm from the Northeast, so I'll admit my road rage fuse is pretty short, but I'm working on it. Anyways, can you lovely people please advise on how to keep my tempers cool while on the road? Peace and love.
I usually, I always try to get into their dome. You know, if they're being a nozzle on the road, it's so easy to lose your temper, and I do. If there's a time when I lose my temper, it's on the road when I get road rage, and yeah, it's people are like, "Wow, you have a temper," and I'm like, "Yeah," but typically, you know, if someone cuts me off or something, I'm like, oh, he's probably having a bad day. It sucks for him. You know, they're probably just having a bad day. If they're being a dick, they're being a dick. You know, it's probably something on them. And so that's why I try and be like, oh, yeah, I get it, dude. You know, sometimes the world is tough and you got to take it out on the road, you know. Or I just laugh. You know, if they're just being a complete asshole, I'm like, well, that guy's a huge asshole. That's hilarious.
I do the same thing. Sometimes, like when I really upset someone, it just makes me laugh. Yeah. I'm like, ooh, they're pissed off. Yeah. And then whatever kind of person they are, I kind of like I've talked about this before. If it's a lady, sometimes I'm like, come on, we're just flirting. Yeah. But I think a nicer thing to do is, and this is a Rogan thing that he talks about when you're feeling confrontational with another adult, is just picture them as a baby. Just look at them as a big baby. Yeah. Like in their baby form.
It's true.
This is a lot of Joe Rogan references, even by our standards. Yeah. But that's awesome, Katya. I think you got this. And also, you know, sometimes it's fun to be angry. Maybe you need that. You know, it's awesome to be chilling. We're all striving for it. But you know, I want you to experience all the colors of the personality rainbow and get some red fire in there. Be pissed. Fuck those people.
Yeah, it is fun to be angry sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like, I'll like hit the wheel. I'll be like, fuck.
Yeah, motherfucker.
And then I'll start laughing. I'll be like, that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was fun, right?
Yeah. Dude, one guy flipped me off like a year ago. Funniest thing I've ever seen.
When my dad and I used to get into fistfights, we always laughed about it the next day. Yeah. We'd be like, that was nuts. You were so pissed. Yeah. He's like, you were pissed. Yeah. And it's, you know, sometimes you got to empty the tank. So, I mean, you know, I don't think you should punch your dad. I cried a lot about it too, but you know, if you can keep it right sized and just be upset at some stranger in their car, I think that's okay. Yeah. What's up, Legends of Stoke? Shout out my boys Strider and Joe, and gotta rep my dog Aaron, freaking beast on the sticks. So yesterday my boys and I threw a sick party and 2 girls from Cali came to visit, one of whom is my boy's GF. The other is an absolute fucking dime piece who is really into me and even took a prairie dog shot with me.
What's that?
I don't know. So we ended up walking down the street in the pouring rain, and then I pulled her in and I leaned her against a car and we sucked face in the street. It was fucking epic, I can't lie. That's awesome, dude. I can picture it. That's cool. The problem is that I have a girlfriend. Yeah, dude.
Dude.
Already, I love that this dude's like, okay, so let me finish. He goes, the problem is that I have a girlfriend who left the party earlier, was mad at me because I wasn't paying enough attention. I was sauced. That being said, I do love this girl, but I've had friends that ask me the question if I'm happy with her, if I should still be with her. Anyways, what I'm asking is, should I tell my girlfriend what happened or just do the split and not let her know? If I told her, she'd be crushed and the emotional toil would be too much for her. Also, I know this came off really bad, but I swear I'm not a bad person. I just fucked up and want to do right. Thanks, Stoke Masters and Sword for the long email. What I do think is funny though is like, and you know, yeah, you like people make mistakes, man. I did something similar once. I made out with someone when I had a girlfriend. But the thing that I like about this is that he's still so stoked on the makeout that happened. He's like, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, the way he described it.
Yeah.
Leaned her against
He's
the
like,
car.
I mean, I do feel bad, but it was sick.
Yeah.
You got to give it up to me. That was sick. Like, I mean, the whole lean thing and the way we were vibing. It was
Sounds
bad.
like Tequila Sunrise.
Yeah, I think hot movie. All three of them at their physical peaks. Mel, Kurt, and Michelle, friends of mine. I would just break up with your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if you have to tell her, but I would break up. You guys aren't going to end up together. This also seems like you made out with this girl really, like, doesn't seem like he's stressed about it at all.
No. It seems like he did it because he was fired up on it, and now he's just like has some remorse later on. Like it's remorse because he feels bad for potentially hurting his girlfriend's feelings. Not really because he's.
And he doesn't even seem to be that.
Yeah. He's like, should I feel bad?
Yeah, he knows
More
he
of
did
that.
something wrong, but
Yeah.
he's still so stoked on it.
Yeah.
I think also when I'm guessing you're in like your early 20s. Yeah, because he's still got a college email. When you're at that age, you think you can like cheat on I mean, people maintain this beyond that age, but I think most of us grow out of it. Is like when you're that young, you're like, well, I can hook up with someone else, but still love my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get older, you're like, no, like the love part is being considerate of how they feel, even when they're not watching.
Yeah.
And you're just not there yet.
Yeah.
But you got to be fair to this girl who cares about you. And it seems like maybe, you know, she had reason to feel the way she felt.
Mm-hmm.
Like you not paying attention to her. Literally the night she was mad at you for not paying attention to her, you hooked up with another girl.
Yeah.
So you're kind of, you're validating her concerns. I think you just got to break up with her.
And also, I don't know how you guys feel about this. I hate abbreviating California to Cali.
Oh yeah.
I don't like it.
Future note. It's if you say Cali, people know you're not from California.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Good call.
Okay, cool. Glad we could agree on that.
But good for you on the hookup, Thomas. It sounds hot.
Yeah, dude.
Now let's see if you can do it when you're single, because it's tougher when you don't have that love in your back pocket
Yeah.
that you're just taking for
Mhm.
granted.
Yeah.
What up, Stokers? Huge fan of the pod. So my boy Jake has become a huge smole since the start of the school year. All of the other 6 members of our tribe are in agreement that he's just a different person than he was last year. He's just become a huge dick and a vibe killer. When we try to intervene and tell him this, he just says that we're all soft. I personally think being quarantined with us at school is the main reason why he's acting like this. Others think it might be his recent increase in the amount of weed he smokes and how he now drops acid. That's a weird reaction to those. I mean, weed can make you a little more insensitive because you're just so, you know, it dulls your senses a bit, so you kind of become a dick. But I don't know anyone who does acid and then becomes an asshole.
Well, he thinks he's cool because he's taking drugs now.
That's what it is. Good
Yeah.
call. He doesn't seem to respond well to us telling him that he just needs to chill out. Any advice on how we take necessary steps to avoid having to boke him from the tribe? Thanks. Just have a good time without him. Give him some FOMO. His survival mechanism will kick in and he'll adjust, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Just I can tell you guys like him and you value him, but if he's being this big of a douche, I would just have a party and just forget to invite him.
Yeah.
That happens once or twice. He'll figure it out.
Yeah. That description is pretty hilarious, though. If anyone says anything, you're soft.
Yeah, way to hear your bros, dude.
Yeah, I understand what he's going through, though. I remember when I started partying like hard in high school for the first time, I thought I was so cool and so hard. I was like, you know, I was like watching like Mac Dre videos And I was like, I'm the fucking hardest dude alive. And then my brother came home from college and he like bought a bong. He's like, yeah, I smoke weed now. I'm like, you didn't even know how to party. And I was like a junior in high school. And he's like, what the fuck's your deal? He's like, you're not in Dogtown, dickweed. And that sort of took me down a level. And yeah, so if you can get like his older brother to like say like, dude, you're not as hard as you think you are. You're just like a high school kid who just discovered drugs. That if he's self-aware enough, that'll probably take him down a peg.
Dude, that reminds me. One time my brother was being kind of a dick to me for a couple months. Like everything I said, he'd just be like, oh, okay. Like, you know, just something sarcastic. Yeah. Started to really get to me. So we went for a drive to go hang out with some friends. I hope you don't mind me telling this story, Chris. He's like the best guy I know in my moral compass. So this is an aberration. But I was like, hey, he said, he made another comment like that to me. And I was like, have you noticed you've been kind of a dick to me lately? Like everything I say, you kind of chop down. He goes, no, I don't think so. Yeah. And I go, okay. And then I started crying. And then when he saw me crying, he was like, all right, dude, you're right. I've been a fucking asshole. Yeah. And he came around. So sometimes if someone calls you soft, lean into the softness. Get softer. Yeah. And just be this exposed, hurt person. And then you'll really... And then if he's a dick then, I mean, what are you going to do? The guy's just a dick. If he's a dick then go the other route and be like, kick open his door and be like, we're going to go chop down a tree, get your chainsaw. Yeah. And then if he's like, I don't have a chainsaw, and you're like... pretty soft. I like that. If you're a dick then after you cry, then you kick his ass. Yeah. 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 Because it was strong of you to go soft. Yeah. And then if that doesn't work at some point, you're like, all right, well, I've already been emotionally mature about it. I think it's time for the circle to come back the other way, and I got to put hands on you. Yeah. Don't actually fight him. Unless you can do it without actually hurting him, if you can just dominate him. What's up, fellas? Sorry if this is too lengthy. I come to you today with a situation that seems unique to me, but I guess it could also be categorized as a quarter-life crisis. These are very common, but my issue is everything in my life is actually going extremely well. I feel that. Within the past year, I bought my first house, which really started taking my workouts, working out more serious, and just got engaged to the dankest woman on earth. My problem here is lately I've been really lacking stoke and more specifically self-confidence. I know part of it is my job, which pays fairly well, but I hate it more than I'd like to say. I know the easy answer is to look for another job. The problem with that is my degree, political science, is a complete joke. The job I have now is in finance, but it's so complicated. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm not qualified for any other jobs out there that I would actually want. And then there's my confidence issue. I've always been a schmoll, not athletic, the butt of all the jokes, etc. But I do a decent job of fitting in, and I understand my role of being the schmoll. My issue with that is after years and years of schmoll treatment, it is really starting to take its toll. I guess I'll wrap this up by asking, how can I find my self-confidence again? Wow, this is a great question. I really relate to this. I know I'm feeling this right now, actually, pretty acutely, where everything's going pretty good, and my self-esteem is low. I think... You know, dude, I don't think you need to quit your job yet either. I wouldn't be so hard on yourself that if you've got this job, it's because you deserve it. And I know what it's like to have a job where you don't feel like you know what you're doing, but I bet you're better at it than you think. And that seems to be your issue with a lot of this stuff. Is I've never heard a schmoll be so self-aware about their schmollness, and which leads me to believe you're not a schmoll. I think, dude, honestly, I think you need some hobbies. Like that octopus teacher guy, he just went into the ocean and started swimming with his bare skin, feeling that against the seaweed and playing with octopuses. Doesn't have to be that for you, but I would find something that brings you peace that's not connected to these other things that actually sound solid, like a house and a dank GF. Yeah, totally. I love what you're saying. I would get some something gets you out of your head, more into your body, and just like CrossFit, gardening. Yeah, gardening. Flipping tires, hitting a tire. Weightlifting's the fucking best. Yeah, hitting a tire with a sledgehammer. Just get out there and get moving. Get in the world. Get into nature. I think that's a good thing to do. And also, I wouldn't. Granted, I don't have much experience with applying for jobs and shit. Yeah, I hear you. Keep going. I mean, I worked at Billabong as an unpaid intern, but I would say, like JT was saying, you got the job you have for a reason, and I think you are
way more capable than you think you are. You know, you could be a fucking entrepreneur. You could, sorry. Fucking assholes. You know, you could be an entrepreneur. You could, you know, be a roller coaster designer if you want to. I mean, anything you can do. You seem like a very smart guy. You got a dank GF fiance supporting you, so you can do anything you set your mind to, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you do have to start in another gig, yeah, you might have to start a few steps behind where you are now, but that's a confident move. And then you'll progress there, and you'll learn, and you'll find your groove, and you'll find your niche, for sure. And it's just about searching for that stuff. Like, you know, not everything's where you want it right now, but you got a lot of good stuff in place. And it's hard to keep up the energy to keep searching, because at some point you're like, I have everything. It should just be working out, but it just doesn't work out that way. You got to just keep looking for stuff that brings you serenity. Mm-hmm. And you'll find it. I can tell you'll find it. But in the meantime, just try to let yourself feel down, you know, have a good cry about it, and understand that your emotions are valid, but that doesn't mean that what you're thinking is true. I don't think you're the schmoll.
Yeah, there's something about doing something that puts you through temporary pain, voluntary pain, like joyful suffering, that just sort of builds you up and carries you through the day, where you're like, you know, it's just like, if you do like a hard workout or something, just for the rest of the day, you're like, I'm set, I'm solid. And it's like, even if you're feeling low, you're like, at least I've got sprints to look forward to tomorrow.
Absolutely. Sprint it out, dude. And you know, maybe talk to a therapist too. I was telling my therapist today, I was like, I feel ugly. And she was like, you're handsome. I was like, thanks. That was all I needed to hear. Yeah. I just need a lady I pay to tell me I'm handsome. It's great.
And take some solace in the fact that most degrees are meaningless.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Right? I got a screenwriting degree. What the hell's that worth? Nothing.
Yeah.
Your philosophy major?
Yeah. People are like, who's your favorite philosopher? I'm like, what? Now I've actually been reading during quarantine.
You are reading Aristotle.
Yeah.
I called Chad yesterday. I'm like, what are you up to? He's like, I'm reading Aristotle. I was like, nice, bro.
It sucked.
I don't think anyone's ever said that to me on the phone before. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I don't know how you're going to get through that, man.
I finished it.
You finished the whole book?
It's only 40 pages.
Still,
no,
bro.
45.
Beast mode.
It's about story structure, and it's called Poetics, about the poems.
You know what's this, dude? If message me on Instagram, and we'll just start talking about how we both feel down. That can be good, too, just sharing. So maybe you already got it out by writing that email. What up? I'm Avi. Being a man of many interests, I've delved deep into fields of discipline that lack traditional social intersection. I surf, I ball, I play music, I chill with the homies. As you both have reputations as squad dynamic engineers and architects of some of the strongest squadral structures known in the world, I have a tricky brotheration to which I believe you can both relate and provide guidance. I think this guy's going to be a really good writer in a couple of years. Mm-hmm. I feel as though my inner squad overlap levels are much lower than the typical healthy dude in his early 20s. It isn't as though my boys from different squads have beef with each other, but it would be very lush if there was a bit more integration. I strive for it to be like the end of the classic animated film titled Ratatouille, in which, spoiler alert, Ratatouille's rat squad meets up with his chef squad, and they aren't really that close, but at least they both like food and are both friends with Ratatouille. Is that too much to ask? Or is it totally normal to have these intersquadral webs with stringent brothers? Stoked and touched if you read this and pondered my issue.
Dude, I've dealt with this a lot. For some reason in like college and stuff, I always, I had a number of squads, you know, and I would get pulled in different directions, and it's like, and I could feel that sometimes the squads didn't want to mingle, you know. Sometimes some people would be kind of, they're like, this is a party for just us, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I think I don't really know if I have an answer for you, because it is tough. I think it's I don't know if I'd try to force it, but just sort of allow it to be, but also try to get the two squads raging together at some point in like a non-forceful way. Just so they could see, you know, the dankness inside each squad. But also, yeah, and also, you know, be stoked that you have different crews to go interact with. You know, you're not just sort of relegated to one. Yeah, you can go mingle with many.
Legend. Also, Ratatouille's the dish. The rat's name is Remy.
Oh.
Good correction.
Dude, another thing I would do is just accept your role as the group conjoiner. Some people have that gift. Some people put together outdoor yoga classes and they invite friends from different groups. You lead them through the vinyasa flow, and then all of a sudden everyone's bonding over this shared experience. So just be that dude that brings that adhesive quality to these groups, you know? Put together a group hang, and you'll see not everyone's gonna mesh, but they'll all be in a better kind of rapport with each other after kicking it in one of your design situations. You got the juice, dude. You can make it happen.
I had a question.
Nice, dude. Hit it.
Hey, what's up, dudes? This is Randy. So the political situation has gotten me really edgy and just not happy right now. I went to vote and I wrote just dickweed on my ballot for president. What do you think went wrong?
I get that. I get not wanting to vote for the options that have been kind of forced on us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like feeling like, look, I didn't choose either one of these guys. I don't really like either one of these guys. And, you know, even if I do have a preference for one, their supporters are so obnoxious that it's alienating me to the point where I just want to burn it down.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to write dickweed on there. But I think it is good to make choice. Like that's what like the Bhagavad Gita is about, right? The guy's like, I don't even know if I want to fight this war. It's like, you're already going to fight it. You were destined to be in this position.
Mm-hmm.
So just fight with your team.
Yeah, and I think, but yeah, I hear you, man. You know, it's politics these days are annoying. Sometimes you're just kind of like, why can't we get back to like, you know, the 90s or something? You know, I was so young, I don't even remember, but it seemed like it was much nicer then politically. But also, you know, I get where you're coming from. You know, sometimes you just gotta draw dickweed on a ballot, and I think it's pretty hilarious. But yeah, I think in this instance, you probably should have actually voted for someone like a candidate. But I'm sure the ballot counters will get a good laugh when they see dickweed on your ballot.
What state is he from? Pennsylvania?
No, he didn't say.
I mean, dickweed might even be considered a vote for Trump. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess however you look at it, yeah.
All right, last question. I'm currently 18 years old, and one of my lifetime bros has been drinking, vaping, and smoking weed over hanging with the bros. He's been doing this incessantly for the last year, and it has really become a problem. When I try to get him to cool down on the vaping, he claimed that it was good for him and is a must for his survival. However, recently he's gone into some major legal trouble and has to take urine tests, so he's resorted to vaping nonstop, even in my parents' car. How can I get him to... That's pretty funny. How can I get him to lay off the vaping and alcohol? Thanks so much, and I love listening to your podcast. Peace. Hey, dude, I appreciate how concerned you are for your bro, but serenity prayer, like, you know, what can you control? That's yourself. So I would just be the dankest version of yourself you can be and just crush it. And then when he asks you, like, dude, how are you crushing it so hard? Be like, because I don't vape.
Mm-hmm.
I don't vape. Because if you're just telling him not to vape, it's more like nagging. But if you're crushing it and you're attributing that to not vaping, then it becomes aspirational for him. And he's like, fuck, maybe I should give up the vape.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would just lead by example. Don't be hard on him. That's probably going to make him want to vape more. And he'd probably, you know, he'd probably try to boke you. So lead by example. Show him how cool it is to not vape. You know, I vaped for a little bit. And when you're addicted to it, you're kind of like, how am I ever going to exist without this little plastic thing that I inhale? You know, how am I ever going to enjoy myself? You know, this is sort of like my treat. Whenever I do work, I you know, sit on the couch and I take a pull of this but then when you get off it, you realize that how much better you feel in so many ways. And so if you can somehow get that message that like, you know, it, on the other side of vaping is just like clarity and no anxiety, less anxiety and full lungs, that can help convince them too, I think. Go to the Reddit quit juuling.
Dude, and set him up on a date with like a really cool, smoking hot young lady who's anti-vaping, and then that might get him to give it up as well.
Yeah. I love that.
Chad, what is your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is this stingray out in Manhattan Beach. So last Wednesday I was out surfing, and the thing was, it was like flat. There were like no waves, and so I was literally paddling. I was like, well, if I'm out here, I might as well get bronzed and get a workout in. So I was paddling in between lifeguard towers, just back and forth. And it was low tide, so at one point I sort of got off my board and I just stepped in the water. And I was just standing in the water, and then I took a step, and then it just felt like a hot knife just sliced through my foot. And I was like, and I was all alone because no one's out in the water because it was flat. And I was like, ah! And I knew right away. I was like, oh, I just got hit by a stingray. And a part of me was like, it's pretty cool. I haven't been hit by a stingray yet. But the pain was so terrible. I was like hobbling in, and I'd paddle kind of far because, like, you know, it's fall, so not all the lifeguard towers have lifeguards in them. So I had to like limp 2 lifeguard towers down, and so I'm like limping, and the lifeguard there was like, she's like, did you get hit by a stingray? I was like, yeah. So she's like, I'll get you some hot water. So I go to the lifeguard station. She gets like a bag of like scalding hot water. And she's like, so you just got to submerge your foot in that. And it was like boiling. So I was like putting it in and out. And she's like, just put it in. She's kind of calling me a pussy for not putting my foot in there. And I was like, geez, lady, take it easy. And just something about her. She like had to go or something. I was like, all right. So she just like, once I got my foot in there, she bailed. She's like, okay, as soon as this cools down, you just got to bolt home. I was like, okay. So I have my foot, and I like slowly make my way to my car. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to have to drive home and just like endure the pain. So water cools down. I empty the bag, throw it in the trash. I was still thinking about littering. and then I'm just driving home in the worst pain of my life. It felt like someone was hitting my foot with a hammer. And I was like, oh my God. For some reason, I was like, in the middle of my drive home, I was like, I gotta Postmate some McDonald's. I need some McDonald's. So I Postmated McDonald's, and I got home. Most pain I've ever felt in my life for like a prolonged period. And then I got to a bathtub, just soaked my foot in hot water, and I had to get stitches. I got 3 stitches in my foot.
Nice.
Because it wasn't a poke. It just like slashed my foot. So it got me good.
Dude.
Yeah. But, you know, I thought it was, you know, I wasn't that bummed about it. I was like, it's kind of a cool story.
For sure.
Or it's just like, you know, it's a good life experience. And I just became a little bit more one with the ocean.
I mean, it's super legit to get stung by a stingray. They're exotic animals, and like anytime you drop that pearl on someone, they're going to be impressed.
Yeah, it's way cooler than saying you like fell or something. You're
Absolutely.
Like, I got stung by a stingray. It's cool.
Where'd you get your scar? Stung by a stingray.
Yeah.
Nice.
Did you survive it? Yeah.
I slipped on cardboard in a puddle.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was swimming with my wife in Thailand, and these dudes are just like, hey, look out. And I look up, and what is coming towards me slowly in the current is the giantest jellyfish I've ever seen in my life.
Shit.
And luckily those dudes were looking out, and I got out of the way and everything was fine. But because I've been stung by a jellyfish before, and it sucks. And I can only imagine what this massive fucking thing would have done to me.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Was it like a man-o-war?
I don't know. I don't think it had huge tentacles or anything like that, but it was gnarly.
Jellyfish?
Big and had color to it.
Oh. They're scary, dude.
It was like a basketball, this thing. That's how big it was.
Oh, they scare the shit out of me. Dude, box jellyfish in Australia. I was in Australia. I was diving in Australia. And you had to put on like a full wetsuit. The water was like 70 plus degrees, but I had to put on a full wetsuit because they had box jellyfish in there, which are tiny. They're like this big. But if you get stung by them, it's like I think a lot of people die.
Isn't that crazy with the ocean?
Yeah.
Like that fish from Deuce Bigelow. Like
Yeah.
if that thing hits you, you're just dead. They're like, hey, there's some of those fish in this. I'm like, what's going on? Are we just okay with us swimming around then when those are around? They're like, yeah, it's okay. I'm like, I don't think so, dude. Like, it's got to be them or us. If I see it, I'm killing it.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna cut this into earlier with that Garrett's guy because I think I have some. So, thanks for writing in, Garrett. I'm sorry you're feeling that way with low confidence. I just want to tell you something. You rip at your job. You're super fucking handsome. Your wife loves you no matter what happens. Whether you fail or succeed, she loves you for you. You're a good family member. You understand that the most important thing in life is just to love well, and everything's gonna work out. You're a beast. And you know what? Poli-sci is a fucking sick major. Everyone sick studies poli-sci. You understand human hierarchy, and that's a valuable thing to know.
That was nice.
So good for you, dude. And you're not a schmoll. You know how many schmolls I know that know they're a schmoll? One, Kevin. And he would have wrote this email with a lot more like, he would have been calling us a bitch or something. It would have been more evident that he was a schmoll in the email.
And Kevin's awesome, too.
He's a great guy. All right. My beef of the week is with cleaning your car or your room or really anything. I'd rather move than clean my apartment. That's just where I'm at. I move one thing into a place where it's supposed to go, I'm exhausted. Like tired. Genuinely tired. I weightlifted outside today. I was worried, someone might steal my 45 plates. Didn't care. Just threw them under my staircase and was like, if they're gone, they're gone. But it does feel good when you do clean. But it feels a lot better when shit just already is clean.
Yeah.
I hate it. I'm a dirty child. Though I did put some Drano in my shower today.
Oh, that's nice.
Because it wasn't running right. No big. But yeah, cleaning, can you get a little more exciting? I mean, I watched the Marie Kondo thing. It's a great show. But who has the time to fold their clothes into little triangles?
Well, you know what the thing about cleaning is that there's no end to it. Things will get dirty, so you like feel good after you clean, but you just know. You're like, you know it's gonna get dirty again.
Chad, who's your babe of the week?
I should get beef,
yeah.
Aaron's beef.
Oh, I didn't get your beef.
You skip my beef because I think you can't handle the hard truth.
Oh, this is true.
Yeah.
I did tell Aaron earlier that I was gonna skip his beef because he kind of tipped it earlier, and it's I don't know. It's a beef that I disagree with, and the more he explained, the more I disagreed with it. But please, Aaron, the floor is yours.
My beef is with the movie Moneyball.
Checking out.
One of the best movies of the last 20 years.
It's undeniably not one of the best movies. I don't even know how it was nominated for Best Picture. But here's my problem with it.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
I haven't read the book, and I've heard the book is more not so much a praise of Moneyball, but like, is this a new thing? Could this work? I don't know. The movie is very much like, this is the thing, this works. And I think what bothers me most is it denies the fact that they had three of the best young pitchers we've seen in a generation, in Tim Hudson, Barry Zito, and Mark Mulder. And focused way too much on Scott Hatteberg. Played brilliantly by Chris Pratt. But yeah, it just, the part of it that bothers me is that there are things that Billy Beane did that are great. Drafting those guys. Drafting Miguel Tejada, who was the MVP that year. Eric Chavez.
Good third baseman.
30 home runs, Gold Glove, and 110 RBIs. Like they had
I can't believe you
superstars.
used RBIs.
Yeah, well, I believe RBIs do matter.
Antiquated statistic. Continue. I'm sorry.
I disagree, and I think that's why no one's putting them up like they used to. But it's just weird that like it spent so much time focusing on this one guy and maybe David Justice as well, and just completely ignored the fact like 3 of the best young pitchers since Smoltz, Maddox, and Glavine. Like, just insane to me that was completely glossed over. They were never mentioned by name. They showed Hudson in a game, but it's played by a guy who was old. It was really weird.
The guy who played David Justice?
No, the guy who played Tim Hudson.
Right.
Yeah.
The guy who played David Justice had a nice swing.
It wasn't bad. I mean, David Justice was a little more straight up and down. He didn't have as much crouch as the guy did, but apparently they actually did play together in the minors at some point.
That guy? Yeah. My baseball friends I saw with were like, that guy's a real baseball player. They could tell right away from his.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is like some of the stuff just, it's like, this is clearly written by guys who don't watch baseball. The movie, not the book or Billy Bean's in overall philosophy, which can be debated. That's fine. The movie itself is very frustrating as a baseball fan. When you're portraying normal people, real people, it'd be nice if they looked like the real people, even a little bit. They had a skinny guy playing Eddie Gordado, who was delightfully chubby his entire career. That's upsetting. They had a guy who was a legit 17-year vet, Royce Clayton, playing Miguel Tejada. They showed him playing in the field once, and he dropped the ball.
My friend Jeff Cusick's one of the extras in that movie. He's a UCI baseball player. Danny Babona's in there a little bit too.
Really?
Oh, nice. I mean, that scores some points for me. Danny Babona, UCI baseball.
Well, as a non-baseball player, I didn't notice any of that, so I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I got a couple of things.
I mean, it's hard. I know it's hard to cast actors to play baseball players. It'd be nice if they cast guys who actually played baseball in their lives. That would be pretty great. To me, you're never going to film an actor who looks like a baseball player because they're built differently. Baseball players are all shoulders. To a man, they're all shoulders. They're also way taller than all actors.
What about Brad Pitt's performance?
He's good. Got no problem with Brad. Jonah was a little one note. He was a little Casper the Friendly Ghost in it. I kind of...
Speaking of your looks thing, the guy who Jonah Hill's based on, he didn't let them use his real name because he was offended by the Jonah Hill casting.
That's not how I read it, but yeah, that's pretty funny.
And then, a guy trying to kind of defeat age-old wisdom with new kind of
I'm all for
philosophy.
that.
I thought was effective.
I'm all for that. I think it could have been done a little bit better, maybe explained a little bit more than just we have the magic science and it's all on base percentage.
Spike Jonze as the
interesting
nebbish stepdad.
Yeah.
And then what about the daughter's song? It's too good of a song, but it's a good song.
Well, it's a real song performed by a pop star named Lenka.
That's great intel.
Who recorded that song in 2008, and the movie takes place in 2002. So it's anachronistic on top of that.
Well, come on. But it's not like the song's not about like iPhones.
I know it's not about
But I mean, it doesn't matter if it's anachronistic. It still fits within.
If your movie's supposed to take place in 2002, I mean, they had the brick Nokias, like they didn't have an iPhone. So like, I think you lose little points there.
This is insane.
The story at the end where he shows the fat guy on TV hitting a home run, already lost me when you said that guy was 260 pounds. Just that guy was like 310 pounds at least.
Aaron, these issues you have are so technical.
They are.
These are like incredibly.
You're showing. I mean,
the movie. I think you're missing the forest through the trees.
You're showing the movie to the wrong guy then, because it's, and especially with the reputation that this is a great movie. one of my friends' favorite movie of all time, which I can't even believe.
It's amazing.
It's that, and I didn't even know Sorkin was involved until the end credits, and I was like, I get it.
When they fired Steven Soderbergh was supposed to direct it, and they fired him because he was going to make it too realistic.
He was going to have the real players play themselves too.
Oh, really?
Which could
Thank
go.
God he wasn't allowed to.
Could go horrible, but it's Steven Soderbergh. He might pull something out of his. I mean, if anyone can pull that rabbit out of their hat,
he is the
it's
best.
him.
But I think he would have bricked it.
I don't know. I think it would have been. I'd be interested to see it, but.
Well, maybe you just hit the ball out of the park, and I'm too far behind the times to see it.
If you liked it, I'm not hating on you. I'm just saying this is why I didn't like it, and maybe I'm not the guy to see it since I'm so. I mean, just because I watch so much baseball, I'm probably the wrong guy to see a movie that's not made by people who watch baseball.
It was a hilariously technical takedown. You're like, Eric Chavez's sideburns were longer.
No.
You are right about the pitching staff, but
yeah, it's weird. I mean, if I have one thing I ultimately am mad about, it is that they make no mention of this killer trio who deserve the credit, and Barry Zito won the Cy Young that year. Like, they deserve all the credit in the world, and who wouldn't want to see Barry Zito portrayed on screen in that movie? He's such a weirdo.
Playing the acoustic guitar.
Yeah, just like what. Not even a mention.
They were right about on base percentage over batting average, as long as they got that right.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I mean, walks are kind of boring, but I get it. Like, it works. It's effective. I like it more than swinging for the fences every time, because you might get more home runs by doing that, which is the current game.
It has devolved.
Yeah.
Chad, who's your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is the steak I made today. It was nice. It was medium rare. I butter basted it. I actually used one of Maddie Matheson's recipes, the minute steak, and sauteed some onions in that butter after I made that steak. Threw those onions on there, and the taste was just explosive. And shout out to the cow, dude. Thank you so much for giving me that steak. Shout out to the onion, dude. Thank you for giving me that flavor explosion. And thank you, butter. Thank you for the cow. Thank you to the cow that made that butter. And yeah, that's it.
Aaron, who's your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is the 100 grand candy bar.
Nice.
You guys had these?
No, but I like you're still on food.
Yeah. Well, we have a bunch of Halloween candy around, and I never think to buy these whenever I go. Well, not that I'm buying a lot of candy bars in general, but I never think to buy them. And every time they come out for Halloween, it's like, oh yeah, this is amazing. It's caramel and then milk chocolate with Rice Krispies in it. Like, it's a texture, it's a joy. Taste-wise, it's a joy. Get on it, people.
Hell yeah.
My babe of the week is the movie Moneyball. Ballasted by an incredible performance of barbed frustration by Brad Pitt, who forms a wonderful odd couple with Jonah Hill as they try to defeat the staid beliefs of old baseball heads and bring in some, outside thinking that can give the underdog a shot. I thought it was very effective storytelling, and the way they tied his family into it, tugged at the heartstrings just the right amount, and fantastic direction from Bennett Miller, and just top to bottom a perfect film.
I agree.
Brad and Jonah are the odd couple in that they're polar opposites, because Brad is the most handsome and Jonah's not looking great in that one.
Jonah's weight fluctuates a bit. Interesting little tidbit about Billy Bean that my friend told me. I guess he used to go to bars and his buddies would be like, you only get laid because you're like a stud baseball player. And he'd go, okay, tonight I'm telling everyone I clean animal carcasses off the freeway. Let's go.
Wow.
Chad, who's your legend of the week?
Well, and I wrote this down before any of this Moneyball malarkey was even brought to the table, my legend of the week is the inspiring nature of Brad Pitt's hotness, which we discussed about a week ago.
And many times before that.
He's just so hot, but he's so hot in the sense where you're just like, it's very like comforting. It's comforting to know that Brad Pitt is hot and remains hot. You know,
set your watch to it.
Exactly, and you can like, you know, there's, yeah, you know, as if there's political strife in the world, if there's, you know, civil unrest, if, you know, sea turtles are eating straws, that can make you sad. But then you can remember, well, Brad Pitt is still hot.
It's inspiring that someone can be that hot. You're like, oh, someone can do that.
Yeah.
Someone did that.
Yeah.
And they keep doing it.
And he can be that hot without being a douche, by being like super cool. Because you know when you see dudes who, when you look at them, you're like, okay, this guy is traditionally very good looking, like square jaw, you know, he's a male model. And you're like, but that hotness is not inspiring.
They don't carry it.
No.
With Brad Pitt's kind of modesty.
Yeah, there's some. I think it's because he has so much. He adds so much substance to his hotness, where you can tell he's just thinking a lot, and he's like, he's gone through stuff, you know, and he's a nice guy, and you know, and he's just it's just, I can always count on his hotness to always be there for me.
It really is the best.
Yeah.
Someone just sent me a photo of him looking hot, and I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
It picked me up for the day.
Yeah.
And we've seen him battle.
Yeah.
And through it all, he stayed hot.
He's been hot the entire time.
Probably maintained his peak hotness better than almost any other person in history.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in his 50s. He just broke up with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Who I guess...
She was in an open marriage?
She was in an open relationship, yeah.
That's so hot.
Really hot. Yeah, I'd be stoked. I don't know if I'd be stoked, actually. It sounds hot, but then it might be a little scary if it actually happened.
Well, Brad's blazing the trail.
I mean, if Brad was stooping your lady.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, this chef owner's a cool guy.
Be like, hey, so what are you doing for Halloween? Oh, I'm just gonna go pork Brad. I'm dressing up as Baby Yoda.
Life's unfair sometimes. You just get matched up in a unwinnable matchup.
Yeah. Well, tell Brad I said hey.
Absolutely. Aaron, who's your legend of the week?
Great team. My legend of the week is the incomparable, and we unfortunately lost him this week, Sean Connery.
Oh yeah.
Just what a badass. What a great, speaking of great looking dudes, what a great looking dude. Went bald, still great looking. You know, put on some of the best wigs in history. I think we could say that. In the Wig Hall of Fame. And just an amazing, like, kind of, I mean, obviously he got in trouble for saying some things later in life or in a Playboy interview, but just a manly man, and made chest hair cool, which is fun. I love the Highlander and his contributions to it. And obviously Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. It's like, it's such a departure from James Bond. Like, it's just, it's super.
It is pretty wild
cool.
he pulled that off as like a nebbish teacher.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of a doddering idiot in a way, at least in terms of like knowing how to act or be in action.
He's got moves.
Yeah. But yeah, amazing career, amazing actor. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Michael Bay wrote a story about him in The Rock when he was giving Sean Connery some direction. He's like, hey, can you be a little bit less charming in that next scene? He's like, yeah, sure, boy.
Well, I saw comedian Matt Bronger tweeted that he knows a guy who is on The Rock as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Bay tried to direct Sean Connery, and Sean Connery just said, why don't you go blow up a bridge?
That's hilarious. That's awesome. Yeah. Rest in peace, Sean Connery.
He made it to 90. Amazing.
Yeah,
Good run.
it was one of those celebrity deaths where you see how long he made it, and you're like, dude, good for him.
Made a good tough stock.
Yeah.
My legend of the week is my dad. Another man made of good tough stock. My dad has been living it up during COVID, making moves, partying, going to Mexico, going on boats, and he's also been battling pancreatic cancer for a couple years and has fought it valiantly and with little loss of velocity in his life. Like, he just takes a couple extra naps now, but my dad is on top of it. He's almost more on top of it now because he's just showing you that he won't go gently into the good night, that he's gonna come at you with both barrels and let you know he still got it. And he does. And he got a bit of bad luck and thought he had a sciatic nerve, but it was a kidney infection that turned into an abscess that filled up his body with immense pain. And he's been at the hospital for a couple days now, laid up, and a lot of love to my brother for being by his side for a good chunk of that. And I've been able to get in there too and spend some time with him. And my dad is so fucking funny. The nurses, when they talk about him, they're like, your dad, to some people he'd be mean, but we know he's just masculine. Because they come in and they're like, Mr. Parr, you need to eat. He goes, the food here fucking sucks. He's just in a very grumpy mood. And, I'll ask him questions, and if the questions are at all stupid, he's like, JT, what the fuck are we talking about? And, but he's battling, and he doesn't complain, and he just keeps fighting. And, just every day I grow to appreciate his toughness more. And he's funny. He was kind of delirious from the pain medication, and he was just talking about business deals. Like, he was like, the hotel, if they double the investment, well, then we'll have to leverage it with a loan, but that shouldn't cut into the interest rates in the next year. And I'm like, Dad, what are you talking about? He's like, huh? He's like, you brought up the hotel, didn't you? I'm like, no. He's just talking. He's just always ripping. He's always focused. And he asks for very little. Like, it's you have to really volunteer. You're like, no, I want to be here. I want to help you out. Cause he's like, hey, just go do shit. Like, go. And I appreciate that. They like if I tell him I got to bail for work, he's like, go, do it. And I really do admire his like, go get him attitude. It's deep in him. And it's, there's not a false part of it. Cause I've seen him do it in the toughest of times, but even despite all that, he's still, sensitive and loving. And, he cries, and if I cry, he's very supportive, and it's nice that he can do both things so well. So very grateful to you, Dad. I love you. Hang in there. He's getting better. He'll be fine. And it's just tough to see him have to suffer through this, but it is nice to be close to him while he does. So yeah, I love you, Dad.
Yeah, glad he's pulling through.
Yeah, he'll be all right. Just gonna take a couple more days. It sucks too when you're there. You're just like, you want to do more, you just want to and you just get so frustrated. You're like, I could just body slam every doctor in here.
Yeah.
But they're doing their best, and it's obviously hard times for them. But yeah. Chad, what's your quote of the week?
My quote of the week comes from Les Grossman in Tropic Thunder. Who hears the key grip? You? Hit that director in the face. Really fucking hard. You shit the money bed, my friend. That's it.
That's awesome. Aaron, what's your quote of the week?
My quote of the week. Okay. My quote of the week is Sean Connery. It's someone asked him, because apparently he turned down the role of Gandalf in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, which would have been amazing. And he said, yeah, well, I never understood it. I read the book. I read the script. I saw the movie. Still don't understand it.
That's awesome.
What a beast. My quote of the week is from the movie Midnight in Paris.
Nice.
Which I think we can all agree is just delightful. And it's Corey Stoll, who does an amazing job as Ernest Hemingway, and Woody Allen does an amazing job of approximating what we all hope Ernest Hemingway would have sounded like. And he says, I believe that love is true and real and creates a respite from death. All cowardice comes from not loving or not loving well, which is the same thing. And then the man who is brave and true looks death squarely in the face, like some rhino hunters I know at Belmonte, who is truly brave. It is because they make love with sufficient passion to push death out of their minds until it returns, as it does to all men. And then you must make really good love again.
I love Hemingway in that movie. That movie just fires me up. I fucking love that movie.
You got to, right?
I just watched that movie in college, and I'm like, I gotta get a cardigan and go to Paris, and just have a crazy fling, and then write like a novel.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
I see it for you.
Dude, thank you.
I can...
Eating, fucking snails. Escargot, sorry.
Oh, I'm not offended.
I fucking love escargot.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Garlic and butter.
Yeah.
You don't even notice the snail.
Yeah, you're like, dude, why don't we have this everywhere?
They're just showing off like how good garlic and butter are.
Yeah. Dude, we should start like an escargot restaurant here.
Love that.
Like to go.
Escar bro.
Yeah. We like establish it as sort of like your go-to hangover food.
Possible SPAC.
Mm-hmm.
Chad, what's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
Oh, wait, we got your quote. My phrase of the week for getting after it is, let's let the blood flow. Is that kind of dark? I meant to like dongs, but I just didn't want to say dong.
No, I don't think it was dark.
Okay.
I liked it.
Thanks.
Aaron, what's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
There can be only one.
Highlander?
Yeah.
It's true, too. My phrase of the week for getting after it is from The Sun Also Rises, the Hemingway book. My brother sent it to me today, and it's The Bill Always Comes. Amen.
Yeah.
All right, dudes. That was a long one.
Yeah. Stokers, be on the lookout for merch. We will be launching, I believe, Friday. You can get a Stoke Nation shirt. I have a small dong shirt. We have some cool stuff coming in the future. I'm talking Helix Beer Bong, anyone?
Nice. Yeah, we got these cool shirts, dudes. Pick them up. Buy them.
Yeah, let the world know you have a small dong and you're stoked. And, yeah. All right. See you guys later.
Good luck with the election, America.
If you need advice, these guys are real.